Hi everybody, it's Kathleen from Crafting Time, 1982. We are going to have some fun. We're going to first show you something that maybe some of you know and some of you don't, but please hang in there if you know about it. And if you don't, take it for a little everyday education. How about that? Nothing like learning all the time, right? Just moving my scissors around here. Now I have some hot water here, and the hot water is really nice. We're going to be using it not to drink or anything like that. Um, I lost something here just a second. Stay with me. Well, there I am. Okay. And let me pull this down short. And let's go. I don't know how to do it. But we'll just go with what we have. I hope y'all can see. All right. So you get these at the Dollar Tree. And you can get them other places as well. And you're going to take it out of the package. And you're going to soak them in hot water. And they're going to separate. Now, I only do, you get 3 of them, right? I'm only going to do one at a time. And I'll get anywhere from, 4 to 8 to whatever. But they're kind of cool. So you just drop them in your water. And I kind of dunk it a couple times to start activating the glue to warm up. Now my water's already cooled off some. And I'm going to put the rest of these back in here because I don't want to do them all at once. And we're going to put other ones in here, and in just a few seconds, a few minutes, put that right back in my little box. I'm going to do the word pressed. And again, it comes in usually a group of 3. Now you can keep it this way as well, but I like to separate them. And just to show you, this one's already separated some. It will still separate. Here's 1, 2, should separate again. 3, I'm just going to flip it over. And again, you just dunk them down. And I try to get it to separate as much as it can. And it's super, super fun. And we're going to use some of them, not all of them. And when they get full of water, I don't know if you can see that, but it's floating and it sinks once it's diluted, or not diluted. Once it has separated. I'm just putting them back in the boxes here. And we're going to use them in just a little bit. I want to put a couple extra ones in there. I want 1 of each. And this is how you save a lot of money, friends. A lot of money. Now, again, you get 3 in a package. I'm taking 1. I'm just dropping it in the water, dunking it to activate that glue to separate it. And when they're separated, they just come apart. Now, they're delicate until they dry. Oh, look, it's separated. Celebrate. Just celebrate, just separated. And amazing. Hasn't begun to sink yet. I thought I had the word magic here already. I do right here. So we'll hold off on that one. Inspire, that's a good one. And I hope that's exactly what I'm doing for you, is inspiring you to check this out because it is so cool. And you know what? I didn't know about it until probably last year, and I was watching a crafter, I think on YouTube. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was YouTube. I don't even know who she was, and she was showing us how to do this, and I thought, oh, how clever. And I tried it, and it worked. This one says forever, and they float until they're soaked. And it's pretty cool, guys. It's just very fascinating how, now these ones here I've already separated. They're only paper thin. Super, this is going to say family, but the F came off. They're delicate, guys. You're going from strong to delicate. You got a leaf. Here's one that says friend, but we're going to change that into um, family. We're going to take the F and take the R off, and we're going to write family here. That's a big thing in our home. I'm actually even going to do this little rose, so we're going to drop that in. Doesn't want to dunk. And now here's the word amazing. It's let's see, I made that 1, 2, 3, and they come in different when you soak them. I'll show you just 1 second. Trust, have you separated? I got quite a few in here. Amazing, just like went crazy here. Trust, how many trusts do I got? Not many. 1 trust, 2 trusts. And the hotter you water, the faster it separates. So, and my water's cooled off some, so I might not get as many. But when you have them up, you can sometimes, very carefully, after they're wet, probably not quite ready yet, but you can sometimes peel them off, but you have to have like so much patience. We won't be doing that tonight. I'm going to flip that one over. I'm going to flip this one over, and let's get them separated so we can use them. Now let me show you what I do with them. I'm going to put this on my lap for a second, or 2, maybe even more. And I'm going to lay down my red table thing. We're going to pull out the ones that we have done. This is just a paper cloth to damp off the wetness. I was hoping the truss would separate just a little bit more, but like I said, when your water cools, see, you can just see how I'm just peeling it. You peel slowly, help out any areas that don't want to peel. You're getting the picture though, right? You just peel fantastically slow and trust. Gotta trust the process. And you can get these to go even smaller if you want. Now these cooled off, so I probably could get them smaller if I really tried. I'm just gonna have it just sit there and dry. I got a couple other ones here. This is the same word, trust. And it doesn't matter which way you flip it. But I've gotten up to like 10 of them with just pieces of wood and cardboard wood pressed together. And when it's just the right, see, I lost the S on that one because I went fast. I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 truss. I just have to glue it together or let it dry on top of each other there, and it will fasten itself back together because that's what paper does. Now let's take the word amazing and see how many we got. There's one. Amazing did naturally. And they come in different, each layer has a different color. Some are brown, like this one. Some come tan. I had another one in here. This one could separate a little bit more. Inspire is just starting. And I just lay them out just like so. And you get so much more for your money, guys. Now that is, I think, fantastic. I love saving money, especially for crafting. Crafting is a very expensive hobby. And that's not going to let me. It's all right if I have a few thick ones. I won't really mind. This is hug. It's a very delicate one. I'm going to just make sure the H isn't touching. Could have had a few more off that layer, but we're just doing this to show you right now. Flowers, I got one. More here. Flowers I've gotten the most out of. Did you see that? It just came right apart. Find a strong spot. That's where you want to start if you're going to separate. Separate anymore, so let it be. Here's the word celebrate. Sometimes you can just peel them, guys. And the hotter, like I said, the hotter the water, the easier. And I just broke that one. So let's see. We will try not to separate them then. And sometimes it's a very, very delicate. I won't separate them. I'll just do whatever the hot water does. Now my water is completely cooled. It's cold now. So these are going to just dry. Here's forever. Looks like I got, well, I did have 4, but it just broke. But depending on what you're going to make with them, the broken ones, save them. Take all of these out, and we're just going to quick dry them. And run out of space here. Or I can just move this out of our way. And I try to lay them out on my table here like this, and just kind of air dry them. Try not to have them touch because the paper will seal itself. Cover. That's cute. And then my clear water, I don't know if you can see it, turns to this milky brown. Isn't that kind of cool? All right, let's put this down on the ground. Hopefully I don't spill it. And yesterday we made a very fun ornament right up here. You see it right behind me there? And we're going to kind of do the same thing with these. But I wanted to show you this technique first. So now you're going to take your paper towel or whatever you like to use. I'm just going to slide this up a little farther so I don't knock everything on the floor. And I'm going to just pat it. Again, try not to get them to touch because water will seal itself right to each other. I got hiccups now. My phone's beeping on me. Ah. And usually when I do this, I wait till they're 90% dry before I actually use them. Sometimes I paint them afterwards. Sometimes I don't. Now, if you don't want to use a paper towel, you can just flip them over as well. I just use a paper towel. I find that easier. I use napkins, not really paper towels, but you get the idea. Still has a bunch of water on it. Okay. Now I'm just going to take a big one and kind of just lay it on top. I'm just opening up my napkins. I'm going to take my dryer that I use for crafting. Just patting these down. You can see, I hope you can see the water here. Let me tip you down just a bit. Just pressing them down, getting off as much water as I can. I'd like to use some of them tonight for this craft. Stuff all over the place here. All right, so we keep it covered. And you turn on your dryer. And you just kind of dry over the top. And I give it over the top because I don't want it to cook. I don't care if my napkin scorches. I'll just use that. Okay, this feeling pretty dry. Now is a very delicate time, so we're going to go right over the top. A little. You don't want to blow them away. You don't want them to curl. And they dry so fast. Simple little thing. Stuck together. Now, if they break apart, like I said, you just take a little hot glue or glue, whatever you like to use, and you dry them. You could heat press it back together and put it back in water and separate it some more. I don't. I'm satisfied with what I get. And they come out to be nice little pieces. Here's a leaf I made. You can use them for a lot of things. And tonight we're going to be using them kind of like what we made up there. Now while these are just naturally drying, I'm just going to move them right below me actually. And we're not, hopefully not drop them. Hold up here. That works best. All right, wasn't that fun, guys? It's always fun to learn something new and usable. I mean, we can use that. Not all woods will separate. Now let me show you some other things about this fun project. Smells like burnt wood now. All right. So some wood that you don't see layers. Some are real wood. They're not cardboard. These are cardboard. And that's why I was able to separate them. Now this one has not been separated. And look how thick that is. That is as thick as this. It's 1/8 of an inch thick, give or take. I have another one here that I had separated. I believe it's the same one. And I think I got 5 out of that. So just to show you the difference in thickness, I'll just turn it. Hopefully you can see the difference there. This one is the heavy one, very heavy. And this is light. Now the layers come out in different colors. This is darker. This is light. So each layer is different colors. So if I soak this, the next layer will be a light one. And then the next layer will be a dark one. And then it just keeps alternating like that. And that's how you know how many layers you got. It's very fun. I love it. All right. But this kind of wood that is actual wood, you can soak this forever. It's a pressed glued wood. It does not come apart unless you chip it or something like that, and then it just shatters on you. So you want to, those aren't going to work for you. But the cardboard ones definitely can work for you. All right. So let's have a little bit of fun. We're going to put some of them together. And we'll use some of these words over here. We're just going to use a little bit of Mod Podge. We're going to use some cardstock. And we're going to need some of my little lifters. Where did they go? Oops. Oh. we might have to use some sticks, which is fine. You just break off a piece and lift it up. These ones are already broke, so let's use those. I thought I had some right here, my little high lifters. Good enough. We'll just use some of these little sticks. That's there. All right. So what you do is you just pick out one that you think is going to be like, you know, one that you would like to use. Put it that way. Let's just start at the beginning. And we're just going to Mod Podge this on. We're going to glue it right on like so. Over here. Glue. Glue. Smashed my hand today, guys. Not the smartest thing I've done in my life. And I like to use a brush that's fairly soft for my Mod Podging. I just find it easier. Now, if your boards like these come and they have stuff on them, that's the side I would put the your item on. Just gonna Mod Podge this on. And again, you're not going to need a lot of Mod Podge. There we go. And depending on how you want your stripes to go, I usually start in the corner. So then I only have 3 sides to cut. 2 sides, sorry. Make sure you rub it down. That glue to go into your paper. I'm just doing one side. I put my stuff away, maybe I know where it went, right? And then you're going to just kind of cut it off. Now I kind of like to crease my paper like so. I find it makes it easier to cut. And I cut right towards the board. I angle my scissor inward so I get it right next to the board. Fantastic. Now, it has a hole in them right here at the top. I'm going to just go ahead and poke that in the hole. And I did it inward. So I'm just going to press my scissors in and up after that hole so it's nice and flush. Okay, very simple, isn't it? Okay, so now we want to make a word go across here. Now you might want to paint that word. We'll just use my little scrap paper that we used yesterday to paint. And let's take one of these. They should be about dry. Quite dry. They're not dry. They don't a little bit more dry. Not by a whole lot, but and then let's just use some let's see. Oh, dark. Black is missing. Fell on the floor. All right. Now don't use your Mod Podge brush. Take another brush. I'm just going to paint right over this. Very easy to paint. Nobody's going to know it's the wood. And again, this is just a fun idea for you guys that you might like. Great to do with kids and adults of all ages, I think. It's always fascinating to see paper separate and then become a craft with it afterwards. I think that's just so cool myself. It still amazes me. And I've been doing it over a year now for this kind of a type of craft. And as you see, I'm just painting over it. I'm just holding it because that's something I do. I don't need to hold it. I'm just going to. And again, I'm using very little paint. Using a small thin brush, just brushing it on, letting it soak into that other oil, all over my word. This word will say amazing when I'm done. Hopefully it'll be amazing. Nice. Now I'm just going to lift it up and move it over, and then I see I missed one little spot there. It's that fast, guys. All right, so now we're going to put the cap on this because we don't want it to fall over and be crazy. And we're going to use a piece of this, and I'm going to go, we'll just go right across the center. So now let's just figure out how much we're going to need. It's going to be a little longer, and it's going to stick out from that because we're making it stand out. I'm going to say about right there. That might be too big, but we can always trim it off. Let's put in our hot glue. Give that a head start to get going here. I messed up on oh, my paint. Right here. Get them all out at once. And in the meantime, we'll take a little Mod Podge. I'm just going to go right across the center. Don't bend that. We want that to be actually sticking out like that. A little bit crooked, but that's all right. I'm just rubbing it down where it stays. And I think we'll just use small little pieces. Get it all over me. Just brush for a second. And to dry that. coffee is almost ready. And if you see water drops or paint drops on your stuff, just wipe them off and you'll be fine. So as you see, it says amazing. I'm going to move this for a second. Put it on top of my pile. All right, we're going to actually flip it upside down here. Still a little bit wet. Here so you guys can kind of see what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to use these little sticks, and they're just sticks like these. You buy, I think, 400 or something like that. And I'm going to place them here to high rise it. Now it's not going to be a super high rise. It'll be high enough that we should have some kind of result of a lift. I just place these in different spots that will actually hold up our craft. We don't need them quite that long. Guys, I save all my pieces that I break off and stuff. I just stick them all in a little baggie or whatever, and that's what I use for. I was just going to give it a little lift. It's not a high lift for sure. They make beautiful ornaments. Now, if you're doing this with children or seniors that have dementia and don't know how to use a hot glue gun, you're going to be wanting to be right near them. But otherwise, you could use tacky glue. You could use, I like the Ultimate Craft Glue. It's like my super glue. I don't use super glue. It's too toxic for me. I'm wondering if I might need another one there. You said it was too long. That M. I think that M is a little weak. And what's nice about these little craft sticks, they're all the same size. I'm very straight and I can't take it off, so it'll have to be what it is. Just lift it off. Didn't I glue that one down? I thought I did. Now if it's wet, guys, it's not going to stick as well. FYI. And I dropped paint all over that. Lift carefully because you're working with delicate stuff. Oh, it decided to grip on because I pressed. So on that kind of a thing, I would just take my paintbrush and just paint over that. It's a fun craft. Now I'm going to put glue on each one of these. On the sticks. have a second or two. And we're just going to lay it kind of like right in the center there. And it's higher out just a bit. It could have been higher, but this will work just fine. And then I like to just kind of like make that kind of a curly Q at the end. And I like to do that on both sides. So get that white as. Do the same thing here, kind of like make a round circle to the center and then an arrow out, arrow back in, and then another circle around. Look at that. Isn't that amazing, guys? It's so fun. This paper had a dent in it. Maybe that's what I was seeing. And this one needs to come down just a bit. I do try to get them as round as possible. I try to cut those little corners off, making it look absolutely amazing. Word fits. And then I just take a nice little ribbon of any sort. No, I had a ribbon here. It's not a very long one. Get a nice one. And you've seen this where you take and make two little bunny ears and you flip it, turn it, and you pull it tight. And of course, you have to fix it, but it works pretty well. Make sure you have your ribbon the right direction that you want your ribbon to go before you pull it too tight. And just keep pulling it down until I have it the way I want it to look. Just trim it off when I get it to the size I want to, maybe a little bit smaller. Now it's like tying a shoe, the two bunny ears, and you flip it over and stuff like that. It's not a too difficult bowl to do. Just have to stay a little organized. And I think I'm going to put that just below that little smaller. I never know how big I want them until I get going. Oops, put the wrong one. I am a real crafter, friends. I do it at my speed and I try to make it the best I can for all my crafts. I sell my crafts as is and I make one and I'm done. I don't make thousands of many things. All right, so we got that nice and small. So now we're going to take these and I'm just going to give it some length, not a lot of length, and I'm just going to ducktail them. cute little bow. And I think I might stick it on one side that's way longer than the other. Shorten those up. Again, you just keep working it until it looks nice to you. If it looks good for you, then it's good to go. I have no idea. All right. There. That's a little bit better. And maybe down here at the bottom. Here at the top. Kind of like it at the top. And it can go a little bit. Let's have it go right up in that space, right above that little hole. Oh, wow, you stay up there. Like so, and then let's see what I have a small little Christmas. Come on, Christmas, not have everything but Christmas here. Well, for right now, we'll just use a green tie off. That should be just fine. I'm just going to stick it through this top. Crisscross it, twist it, and then wrap these little extras around so you can't see that they were there. And then I twirl it through the bottom and I make it more like a loop. And right at the top of the bow here, I give it a twist. That way I can hang it on to a Christmas. Now look how cute that's going to be in my Christmas tree. And I'm going to make a bunch of them. This is just an example for you. I hope you like it, guys, and I will see you all tomorrow night. I'm going to make some more, and exactly the same way. I think this will be absolutely beautiful on my tree. And like I said, if you have those little extra things showing, just paint them back. Just cover them up. That's probably my finger. And like I said, these are wet, so it might just look funny for a while. But look how cute that is. Very, very nice. Well, thanks, guys, for coming. I certainly appreciate it. We'll see you all tomorrow around 8:30 Minnesota time, Central Time. And you all have a blessed day and see you then. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.